Every year I make a video predicting graphic design trends, but this year is different because I'm not seeing a new visual trend emerge anywhere, but I am seeing something that's changing the fabric of how designers actually work, and it's already reshaping the industry. Style trends still matter in design, but my argument is that they matter less now because we're seeing such a technological shift. And personally, I don't believe that trends are something that we really need to be paying close attention to this year, because design trends are all recycled essentially. It's recycling from a time period or a certain aesthetic that we used to like, but tools don't. Tools are different. Ways of creating don't just get recycled. And right now, the tools that designers and creatives are using are changing now more than ever. And if you're a graphic designer or someone who's looking to get into design, this will affect you, like it or not. So the first major industry trend is AI and automation, what I call the death of busy working. AI has done a lot of good for the design community, and over the last few years it's actually been a point of contention, specifically generative AI. A lot of designers feel they're either going to be replaced, feel like generative AI makes their skills redundant. And we as creatives have spent a lot of time honing in on our crafts. We've spent a long time personally doing hand lettering, learning how letter forms work and interact, and having AI being able to come in and change them is a bit disheartening. Not a bit. Quite. However, AI isn't just generative. There are things called machine learning models, or machine learning, which is a form of AI. And that's where we get the AI selections in Photoshop and Affinity. It's where we get AI masking, where it removes the background of an image. It's where we get image harmonization, where you can superimpose an image onto another one. And in the past, you would have to go in with a bunch of brushes and use textures and techniques to make the light look like it's actually coming from that image. Now it's just a click of a button away. This is what I call the death of busy working. Features are becoming so prevalent now where the tedious tasks of having to select a product after a photo shoot to mask it out so you can have it on a background, or you can put it on top of a background or superimpose it somewhere else, that's gone. AI has made it so that you can do that in a second. And not only do you not need a professional to do that, anyone can do it now. So the bar has been raised. And over the past year, I've been using AI, not generatively per se, but I have been using it to organize my time. And also, it's making it easier to create mock-ups. I don't have to spend a long time searching for them. If I have a specific mock-up idea in mind, AI can do that now. What this means is that the actual product of what we're creating, like a logo or brand identity, that's really what it is. We can spend more time on that. We can be less busy, or actually, we can just do more, even better, even greater. And personally, the trend that I'm seeing is that a lot of companies, creative or not creative, are using AI to not replace workers, but to compress time, to give workers more time to do things that are more important. That's just my opinion, so let me know what you think. The second industry trend that I and all of us have seen is free versus paid software. The barrier of entry into graphic design is closing. This year has been quite a pivotal year, and we haven't seen the effects yet, and I don't think we will for a while. However, when a company like Canva buys Affinity and makes a professional software completely free and usable, I love it by the way, it means that anyone can download it and use it and learn it, create it, master it. That entry is gone. The entry before was a heavy subscription model that some people couldn't afford. Certainly children wouldn't be able to afford it to learn. Schools would find it difficult. And this is no shade on Adobe, because there's no problem having a subscription or any payment for software, but we can see the tides turning, and the industry as a whole, me and you as designers, we are able to make different choices now. There's more competitiveness. Now, paid software isn't going anywhere. We know that, because paid software will have its pros, just like how free software might have its advantages and disadvantages. But Affinity becoming genuinely free for most professional workflows is a genuine inflection point. We're used to having free tools that couldn't do everything that the paid tools could do. However, I've been creating brand identities in Affinity and scaling them within Canva, and there's been no issues. And all I need is one Canva subscription, which is cheap. It's not a toy, it's a serious design tool. And the trend that I'm currently seeing and I'm predicting is that when a professional tool becomes genuinely accessible to everyone, the baseline skill level rises and competition increases. It's pretty crazy. So access to software and being able to do things used to be the advantage to designers and creatives. That's what gave them the cutting edge. Now, taste, thinking, and execution is what the advantage is. And we see the same shifts within platforms like Framer, who are sponsoring this video. If you don't know, Framer is a professional no-code website design tool. I've got a video about how we designed our whole website, and it was a really fun process over the past 6 months, but they have hundreds of ready-to-go templates that have been professionally created by the Framer community. You can even create your own templates if you want to and make money on Framer by selling them on their marketplace. They have tons of components that you can use. We used a lot of the components on our website, and they keep updating Framer to make it easier for you to use. My favorite update recently is auto rename layers. Instead of having to go into each layer and double click and rename that layer to the section header or whatever, you just simply press Alt or Option R and it will use AI to rename the layers. And I don't know about you, but that's an amazing use of AI. It saves us time. They even just added masonry grids, so you can add all your images that are different sizes into a frame that will be responsive and automatically aligned to the Framer board. So go ahead and try Framer for completely free. Click my link down below in the description. And this brings me on to the next trend, number 3, which is designers who ship will win. You see, clients nowadays don't just want files sending over. They want outcomes. They want to see something tangible. Whether that is on Framer, a working website, or whether using Adobe and Affinity and Canva, creating a working brand system. Not just designing a logo and giving them a couple of typography options and a color palette, but an actual system that they can use to have a distinctive identity. This is what is making people win as designers. And that's because of the technology that we currently have. We're able to do that. And the trend that I'm seeing with successful designers, successful agencies, and when I say successful, I mean they've got great work and they love what they do, is that the designers who can take an idea from a concept to live execution will consistently outperform those who can't. That is the trend that we're going to. It's no longer a logo, but it's how does that logo look in different formats? We've seen this with mock-ups, but it's also how does the logo move? How does it interact on the website? So a logo, in my mind, isn't a deliverable anymore. A working brand system is. And I'll caveat that with saying that what I'm saying today seems very much like boom, boom, boom. These are just my thoughts and predictions of what I'm seeing as someone who kind of nerds out on like checking different designers out and seeing how the whole industry is working. Now, the fourth trend that I've started to see in the industry is boutique versus large agencies. I believe that perspective is beating scale. We've all been there. We've all wanted to work for a large agency who does incredible work and they hire the best people. However, something that I've noticed over even just the past 2 years really is the rise of small agencies or small studios or freelancers. When I first started out in my career, I was a freelance designer. That's where I built up all my skills, my work ethic. However, large companies would go to large agencies because of the trust and value. But more brands are deliberately choosing smaller and boutique teams like us. We've been shocked over the past couple of years on who's been working with us and why. And the main reason we get is our perspective on branding is different. Now, this doesn't mean to say that large agencies don't have a place. Very opposite, actually. Companies will still go to large agencies. That's why they're large. They do great work. But more brands are deliberately choosing smaller boutique teams because of their different skill sets and the perspective. The industry is moving away from big by default and toward more intentional and specialized. We've all heard of niching down, and that was a trend a while ago where we would have, even for myself, I would only do logo type design for a while until I wanted to branch out into more of the brand strategy type of things about a decade ago, and that's where we are now as brand identity designers. Instead of niching, people are specializing. Whereas I'm very good at doing logo designs, but my specialty is in logo type design because that's where I spend most of my time, that's my passion, that's where I love to be. And we intentionally move towards that. So companies are moving into a more intentional and specialized target of a design agency. So I haven't seen any stylistic trends emerge particularly this year, and I'm not sure why that is. It might be because I'm spending less time researching them, but something that has been sticking out to me is the different tools that designers are using. There's no longer just one big tool that everyone has to use. And within those different tools, there's different methods of creating things. Technology is increasing, and therefore the creative freedom for people is increasing. It's no longer about, hey, can we learn to use the golden ratio in a logo? It's more about the taste behind the design. Have you got the taste? Have you got the thinking patterns to create a logo that is so inherently simple that a child could make, but works so well on the product or on the brand? We're moving towards more of an intentional space, which I'm so excited for. I think this next year in 2026, we're going to see some wild new technologies, new design aesthetics probably, different ways of working. But most importantly, creative freedom, more time to be intentional with how you work, more time to focus on our craft rather than selections and masking and naming layers. These things are going to the background and our true taste is coming to the foreground. If you enjoyed this video, press the subscribe button. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Catch you in the next one.